A brave 12-year wait for Superman's DCU debut following Henry Cavill's debut. Superman Legacy, directed by James Gunn, will be the first live-action film in the DCCU, therefore it will have to overcome comparable obstacles to Man of Steel. Man of Steel faced the same difficulties in launching a franchise when the DCEU first started in 2013, and Superman Legacy is encountering similar difficulties with the DCU. The majority of DC's planned theatrical films and TV series will create a new cinematic universe that will stand alone from the DCEU and Elseworlds films like The Batman and Joker after Aquaman and The Lost Kingdom permanently closes the DCEU era. Creature Commandos and Superman Legacy, which launched this new series, will demonstrate how distinct the DCU will be from the defunct DCEU. While Creature Commandos will be the first ever DCU story, fans are expecting much more from James Gunn's Superman Legacy, which will introduce Superman to the DCU and create a living, breathing cosmos full of both inexperienced and seasoned metahumans. Superman Legacy is arguably the most significant addition to the first chapter of the DC universe, Gods and Monsters, considering that Superman is the comic book's main character. Superman Legacy will also have a difficult time competing because of its many parallels to Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, the DCEU's debut film. It makes sense to begin a cinematic universe with the protagonist of the franchise. But despite a lengthy history of live-action adaptations, none of them have been able to make Superman a really desirable property. Man of Steel offered a darker, more poignant interpretation of Superman, yet despite director Zack Snyder's distinctive flair, the film failed to win over most of the audience. A Superman movie at the start of a new franchise is a big move, more so than a film focusing on a more obvious character like Batman, because Superman's appeal is harder to bundle in a single movie than most comic book characters. Thankfully for the DCU, Superman Legacy may be able to benefit from the mistakes made by the DCEU, including certain information from Man of Steel that may have provided stronger groundwork for a cinematic universe. In contrast to the DCEU, which abruptly shifted from the solitary tale of Man of Steel to the hurried crossover of Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, Superman Legacy will center on Superman and his supporting cast while also including a number of metahumans and establishing interconnectedness from the outset. This will make it evident that the DC universe will grow in the future while also preventing other DCU films and television series from hurriedly pursuing crossover events following a single standalone release. In addition to being interconnected, Superman Legacy will establish the character's tone and enable compatible tales to be told from the outset. Movies like Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman 1984 and Andy Muschietti's The Flash conflicted with what Man of Steel had set up, while Zack Snyder's projected style was derailed by Justice League's theatrical cut, abandoning Man of Steel's promise of a gritty franchise. Superman Legacy will now probably choose a particular, more fitting tone and aesthetic for Superman, but it will also open the door for other DCU films and television series to experiment with their own aesthetic without going too far from the rest of the cinematic world.